guys, my name is Vuvu and this is Vuvu Vena Reads. If you're a newbie here, please do the right thing, press the red subscribe button down below. But if you're an oldie, a returnee, a part of the fam bam, welcome back fam, and thank you for joining me once more. On today's video, I'm doing my first wrap up of the year. It's a little bit late, but we are here and I'm sharing with you the books that I managed to read in the month of January. So do stay tuned.
So Vuvu Vena _reads is an amazing book reviewer, also YouTuber. She reviews books on YouTube, and if I'm not mistaken, she also has a blog as well. So please, if for your connection with literature, get in touch with or follow at VUVUVENA _reads. She is based in South Africa, and I think it is also extremely important to follow literary content creators who are based outside of the West and in continental Africa, because they do a really good job of bridging the gap.
We appreciate you, Vuvu, for bringing us Turning Pages and for bringing us your BookTube channel.
You know, this is a chance for people to actually see some people that I really enjoy.
Please consider pressing the red subscribe button down below. And if you're a returnee, welcome back, fam.
Vuvu, you're amazing. Thank you so much for your time.
So in January, I managed to finish 4 books in total and in absolutely no particular order. I'm just gonna hop right into those. Sorry. Wow. I'm about to erase my eyebrows. I'm trying to get hair out of my eye. Okay. Well, if it's there, it's there. Okay, I don't know. Okay. So the first book that I'm sharing with you guys is this one. It's called An Orchestra of Minorities by Chigozie Obiama. This is a Nigerian author. His first book is called The Fisherman. I do have a discussion with him here on this channel. I will link it up here on that particular debut, and we had fun chatting about the themes and the messaging of that particular book. This is his sophomore, his second book, and both of these books were shortlisted for the Man Booker Prize when they came out. This one is 2019. I forget what year the other one was. Chigozie is based in the USA as a literature I want to say lecturer because I don't know if he's a professor, but you get what I mean, right? He teaches literature in the US. Now this book, right, this one was a really tough to get into. I don't want to lie to you. I think for me, I came in here not prepared because I was expecting the same style of narration and kind of flow and story as The Fisherman, but I think in this one he does showcase his versatility, and this one is very centered around the spirit world, right? It's not magical realism in the sense that this story is told from the point of view of this main character's Chi, and the main character is Chinonso is the main character, and his Chi is kind of like his spirit guide. So his spirit guide is in front of the gods pleading Chinonso's case, and in so doing, what Chigozie does is that he takes us on a journey of what it means to be human. Basically, he highlights very clearly the duality that exists in existence, in terms of at any given point, any human being has the choice to be good or bad, and sometimes circumstances might drive people to certain choices, and how it is still within your power to choose a different path, even if it seems like you're so far gone on a certain path. He does this telling of this particular story so well, and he focuses and literally zooms into Chinonso's story, where it pertains to love, where it pertains to vengeance, where it pertains to naivety, where it pertains to trying to gather yourself, and where it pertains to errors that you might make trying to right any wrongs that were done in your life. There's a lot of African philosophy, African what do you call this, idioms that are peppered into this one, and I did listen to this one via Audible as well as I was reading it because it was hard for me to get into. However, I think that it is well worth the effort if you do have a copy to try and work your way through it, because there are some themes and messages that this book has that are quite treasure troves for anybody who, actually for everybody, because they are commentary on life, circumstance, and how to navigate the things that could occur in your life and could occur in anyone's life, really. So there's a lot of chit chat about class, about your rank in society, about belonging, about owning yourself for yourself, and just about trust, gullibility, friendships, etc. It is really very well told once you get over the manner in which it is told. It is a really, really very precious story. I ended up rating this one a 4 out of 5 stars. It's really worth the effort, like I'm saying. And Chigozi so far is becoming a favorite on my shelf. I enjoyed this one a lot. This one was part of my book club, the Vuvu Vena Reads book club. Pick, I think the link to my book club, which exists on Facebook, is down below in the comments, in the description box, in the description box. So please do feel free to join. Like, join. There's no pressure, there's no rush. We just share the kind of books that we'll be reading for a year. And what we do is that we have selected only 6 books, so we get to read one book over 2 months. Here and there where I can, I will invite authors to chat with us at the end of the discussions or the book reads or whatever. And our discussions happen mainly on what's this thing, rooms on Facebook. However, I do want to change up the structure this year, which is why I haven't posted very much on that group yet. I'm still trying to work it out, but I will have to post what our book for the first month was. Some of you might or might not finish it on time. Some of you may already, is the next book that I'm going to share about. Some of you may have already read it, so we shall see how that goes. So the book in question, our first book for 2022 on the Vuvu Vena Reads book club, is Mantle Naughts by Lebu Mazabuko. It's a debut novel by a South African author, and this one was sent to me courtesy of NB Publishers. This is published by Kwela Books here in South Africa, and in this one Lebu does a stellar job in reflecting society back to itself, right? She holds a mirror up to society where she talks about the remnants of the apartheid era on the minds and qualities of modern day townships, right? Hers is based in a township in Johannesburg. I want to say Soweto, that's why I'm like, is it Soweto? She follows this through the lens of our main character, Naledi, who navigates her township life against her strict grandmother's teachings, her absent mother's modern wayward ways, as well as a community that seems to be expectant on how you should live your life. She juxtaposes Naledi's life against the township with her higher education and the environment in which the university presents her, and she brings us into the thinking of this modern day township girl who's trying to make sense of life as I will almost say as a millennial, right? Because she was just in the middle of, or just after, the apartheid era, and she's trying to understand what her part in life is, where she actually fits in, and how she can own herself and live the life that she is convicted of. It's a very, very, very interesting story. It touches on a number of interesting themes, a lot of social commentary. I absolutely loved reading this one, and like I'm saying, I'll see if I can have her on our book club to discuss some of the themes that came up in this one. For me, Mantle Naughts, I rated it at 3.8 stars, and I think that it was really very well done. So that's the second book I read in January. The third book that I read in January was The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. I don't think that this one needs much introduction. This was a reread for me. I try to reread it almost every year. However, I think I am stopping now because I think that for it having been my first introduction into the law of attraction, it did what it was meant to do. And the reminders that I'd been giving myself over the years, I think have stamped themselves to the point where this year's reread really did feel like a very strange journey for me. It really didn't feel enjoyable. It didn't feel like I was learning anything. It really felt like this book to its core is very simplistic, and I know that this was a great criticism of the book when it first came out, but I think for people who are just trying to learn or get into the whole idea of the law of attraction, it is definitely one of the first books that you could grab, because it simplifies just how that notion works, how that philosophy works, and how to apply it to your life. And it does do it in the most simplest of terms, but I do think that the lesson does stick with you. So I think that I have outgrown it, and because of that, and if I have to be honest with myself, this time around the read was a 3 out of 5 stars for me. I think initially when I first opened this book a few years back, it was definitely a 5 out of 5, because these were new things that I was learning and new ways of thinking and doing. And like I'm saying, I think that there comes a time where you do get past this, you graduate from The Secret into something else. I also picked this one up because I have a copy that I was given by Jonathan Ball Publishers, called her latest book, which is The Greatest Secret. I haven't read the other books in between. There are a few other books in between this one and that last one, but I don't think that I will pick those up, but I'm definitely picking up the copy that I did receive. So I just wanted to just jog my memory as well, so that was part of the motivation for picking this one up. So that was a 3 out of 5 stars for me, and yeah, I think that I can keep it on my shelf. Perhaps my kids will make use of it someday, but I don't know if I'll be opening it again next year. So that was the third book that I read in the month of the month of January. The last book that I picked up, guys, this book is so dear to me, was An Ordinary Wonder by Boki Papillon. Now, this one I picked up sometime last year. I don't remember when. I was meant to buddy read it with Charity. I think you might have seen my live sprints talking about this book and me picking it up, etc, etc. But the emotions that I went through in this one were threatening to really get me into some kind of emotional slump that I was really not trying to get into, and so I had to put it aside. Now, the genius of this story for me, and what Boki Papillon has done, is using a child's perspective or point of view as the manner in which to narrate the story for us. And I think that whenever I have come across stories that really are told from the perspective of a child, relaying their own life experiences and injustices, etc, etc, from such a young age, these books really do have ways in which they trigger me as a reader. This one follows our beloved Betuna, who discovers or is found to be intersex. He is intersex. I don't want to use this term because they say that the term is outdated, but he is found to be a pseudo-hermaphrodite, right? So he's found to have organs within him that are both male and female, and this one is based in Nigeria. This is a Nigerian author, and I think this is a debut. I absolutely love debuts. If you have not come to learn that about me yet, you will learn. I love debuts because I feel like they are one of the most authentic pieces of work that an author can give you, because it is pre any fame, pre any criticism, pre anything. Nothing but their need to get that story out is what's driving them. And I almost want to say that most times it is their most beautiful piece of work. I've really enjoyed a lot of debuts during my reading journey, and this one is one that I found exceptional. Bookie's writing style, child, and this one does do that whole back and forth between time periods in inverted commas. So we hear from a modern, a present day Otto, and then we hear from Otto about how it was growing up as a pseudo hermaphrodite in a house where this was seen as a sin, as a demon that needed to be cast out of him. This made him not belong to the family, and therefore, because this family that he didn't belong to was high ranking in society, it meant that he belonged to nobody but himself and his twin, and eventually there are strains in the family because of who he is. However, the sweet innocent child takes us through this journey with him, shows us parts of himself that really have nothing to do with gender but true and utter humanity. And we see people who have defined their genders being less human than he is, and we see the injustices that a child can't fight. We see the bravery, we see him coming through for himself, and from time to time we see the story peppered with some really great characters. One of my favorite characters is Mr. D, who is a Ghanaian teacher at his school, who for me is the epitome of what an adult should be in a child's life, especially upon discovering any form of injustice in that child's life. Absolutely recommend this particular book. Loved it to no end. It was my first 5-star read of the year, and listen to me, when you open it you will not regret a thing. This copy was sent to me by Jonathan Ball Publishers, and that's the last book that I read for the month of January. Thank you so very much for tuning in. I really do appreciate you guys stopping by. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and until next time, I love you guys very much. Bye now.